Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Percy the Jester of the Gaming Spiral and welcome to Hades 2, a game where you predominantly ask two questions. What just killed me and am I sure I'm straight? The depth at which you will be exploring these questions are equal to or greater than the flight speed of a falcon. Now you may be asking other questions like, Percy, what weapon should I run? Or Percy, why is Dissident Bell so good? Well, the first in my opinion is the axe. The second is your favorite animation in the game must be the death animation, isn't it?
Return to Shadow now.
Now, what's the story of Hades 2? Well, your grandfather is trying to kill or capture the rest of your family in what is known as consequences. You see, the gods are known for fucking around and finding out. Zeus in particular. So it's of no surprise when Granddaddy Kronos glued himself back together, his first thought was genocide the lesser gods and trick Chaos into revealing the location of the Fates. How did someone trick Chaos, I hear you asking? Well, it's easy. Chaos is gullible and, if I'm to be entirely honest, slightly autistic. Now, as a roguelike game, we have runs. Not like when you ate that buffet shrimp, more like those people that make a New Year's resolution. And much like those people, you may drop it after 2 weeks unless you like pain. Like me. So with those very brief explanations out of the way, let's get into one of my favorite kinds of runs. The Disco Inferno build. With the sickle and knife, your goal is to evolve into the final form of every British citizen, a knife-wielding firebug. For this build, you only need the movement stick, the attack button, and the dash key. Your goal, ultimately with this build, is to fall in love with Hestia. With enough fire boons and aggression, you can overpower any encounter, from bosses to weak mobs. You just dash in and keep cutting.
She typically has been content merely to stoke the little flames warming the hearts of mortal bones.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
So here's something you will need to be careful of. Chaos offers some of the most powerful boons, but there is a price needed to activate these incredible gifts. Or maybe you could look at them like a test. Either way, be careful with whatever you choose, because it's never free. As you can see in this clip, we are demonstrating something very important, that even though I have completed the Chaos Boon and that it is ready, charged, and active, I've passed the trial. I even got an upgrade palm. I cannot upgrade it, so a Chaos Boon will always be exactly what you find it as. Here we are at the first boss of the run, Hecate. Titan Witch and Goth Mommy Supreme. She is a big fan of different AoE for each encounter. This time, we got the fire waves. One big consistency in each fight is in phase 2. She summons a true tracking hex that will never stop pursuing you. You either die with it chasing you, have the frog companion, or get turned into a sheep. There is no way to avoid this.
Bathe in flame. Caught you. Aid me. Looks valuable, Rocky. Nicely done.
You can see we have gone into a dual boon room. The dual boon rooms offer you 2 great gifts with no combat involved, at least until you take one. Then you will anger the god of the boon that you did not take. They will send a specific type of AoE to follow you around the arena while summoning mobs to attack you. You can see I've gotten Hestia and I've gotten Aphrodite. 2 really good buffs for this build if I can survive.
Spouts are up.
Play with fire and you get yourself burnt. It's just as simple as that, unless I say otherwise.
Alright, listen. I know maybe I'm getting a little too excited. There's only 4 extra damage, you might be saying right now, but let me tell you, that is the most powerful upgrade for this build next to burn does bonus damage to armor. Here we are at the second boss of the run when you go down, Scylla and the Sirens. If you are actually curious, the background music for these boss fights can be found online, and I do actually listen to them in my free time. They're pretty good. So, excuse the absolutely horrendous moment of this boss fight, but as we push through this, parts of the instruments for the song are going to cut off as you kill members of the band. So it's going to sound like garbage in this boss fight.
She's all mine. All right.
So here we are going into the Fields of Mourning. The Fields of Mourning is kind of like a long, multi-staged arena type thing. There's multiple rewards to be gathered in each room, but each reward provokes a fight before you take it. And there's the Golden Bough, like that one you see right there, that you can find in between the arenas to basically locate the ruins for you instead of wandering around. I don't really think I should show this whole thing because it gets kind of boring and samey watching the Fields of Mourning, because you basically just watch the same fights but with armor or with more enemies throughout the whole run. So we're gonna skip on to our boy Cerberus.
Now I release you.
Then all 3 monstrously sharp-fanged heads of...
Alright, we have soothed Cerberus, we have pushed through the fields of mourning, and now it is time to take on our final challenge, the realm seized by Kronos himself, Tartarus. And unfortunately, it's much like the fields of mourning in the way that there's a bunch of separate rooms that you have to push through, so we're skipping that. And we're going straight to the final fight. Well, to the shot before the final fight. To kind of give you like a vague sense of what I'm working with and what I was prioritizing at the time. Also to kind of show off all the fire boons that we're getting, which allows my basic attacks to absolutely annihilate things, especially if I'm stabbing them in the back. I want you to imagine what Kronos is about to fight. I am a woman who has had the arm and leg torn off, magically regenerated them, broke through 3 separate realms as a lesser god, and I'm now coming at him with nothing but a knife and more fire than the entirety of the Japanese people have ever seen.
Ceaselessly attack my humble shepherd Polyphemus, who seeks merely to attend his flock in peace.
Your humble shepherd doesn't let me leave the city of Afura willingly, so I've been showing myself out. You should know, he often is asleep on the job.
Punishable behavior if true. Of course, I pay that Cyclops next to nothing. And you always get what you... Nice pose. How empty it is here without some guests. Meaningless. Confound it. Three, two, one. I grow weary of your antics, girl. Your wrath is all for naught. Too slow, my girl. This victory of yours shall be short-lived. But time cannot be stopped.
Well, thank you everybody for joining me for this Hades 2 video. I'm really trying to put my all into this thing, see what we can do with it. Maybe I'll make some really good clips every once in a while. We'll have to see and find out together now, won't we? Everybody have a good rest of your day. See you next time.